Hello and welcome to the tutorial on how to use the interactive element of the ARFer program toolkit. This video intends to guide you through how to use and navigate your way through the pathways within the interactive toolkit without too much trouble. We have decided to use the Prezi platform to introduce the pathways. Prezi is a slideshow platform that is slightly more interactive than other slideshow platforms. However, we will not be using Prezi as a slideshow tool. Therefore, it is important that you remember a handful of things as you work your way through the pathways. We will remind you of these things throughout this tutorial. One important thing before you start is to ensure that you are using a PC and not a smartphone or a tablet. Unfortunately, the pathways will not work properly on a smartphone or a tablet. So let's get started. As you open the link for this interactive toolkit, you will always land on this page. Click on the Present word then in order to begin your journey through the interactive toolkit. So I'll just click on it. When the presentation has loaded, you will always land on the home page of the interactive toolkit, which includes this Venn diagram. At this point, I want to suggest that you click on these opposing arrows here in order to toggle full screen mode. So I'll just click on it. We will return to this diagram and the language profiles here later on in this tutorial. On every slide throughout this interactive toolkit, you will see this blue box. This blue box indicates your location within the interactive toolkit. For example, this is the home page, and as such, there is a picture of a house in the blue box. In addition to having the blue box on each slide throughout the interactive toolkit, you will see this orange box. Your cursor will change from being an arrow to being a hand if it is possible to click in order to change your location within the interactive toolkit or to open a link. If you click on this orange box, you will open a new slide that contains this video. So I'll just click on it. Of course, when you open the interactive toolkit, this video will be available to you right here. There is an example of a video that is embedded within the interactive toolkit later on within this video, if you wish to know how to play a video within the Prezi. Notice that these arrows appear at the bottom of the page if you move your cursor, with the one on the right flashing. It is important that you try your best to ignore this flash and to avoid clicking on these arrows. It is easy to get lost in this interactive toolkit by clicking on these arrows. Additionally, if you move your cursor to the right, these icons will appear. The top icon takes you back to the home page, and the bottom icon takes you back one step in your pathway. If you get lost whilst using the interactive toolkit and wish to return to the start or take a step back, please remember to avoid using these arrows on the bottom of the page and use these icons instead. For example, if I just click on the house icon, and now I'm back at the start of the interactive toolkit, i.e. the home page. We will therefore begin at the beginning by talking about this Venn diagram. This Venn diagram lets you choose the language profile that is most appropriate to the individual or team that will undertake the tasks. There is a description of each language profile on the left here. Therefore, the first step is to choose which language profile, or any mix of the language profiles, is most appropriate to the individual or teams that will undertake the tasks. For this tutorial, I have decided to choose the most complex language profile, which is a mixture of people that match each language profile, i.e. a mixture of A, B and C. We have already mentioned that your cursor will change from being an arrow to being a hand if you can click in order to change your location within the interactive toolkit. This is of course true for this language profile and for each other language profile within the Venn. Therefore, I am going to click on the middle language profile in order to move forward on the pathway for this language profile. We have now reached the first step on the pathway. Notice that the location within the blue box has changed as a result and, as such, reflects your new location within the interactive toolkit. The next step is to choose the language scenario or context on which you wish to concentrate. The same 4 language scenarios appear in each language profile. They are ad hoc or informal conversations, formal meetings, using technology, and writing. As a rule, all blue circles that contains white text throughout the interactive toolkit lets you move forward along your path. The scenario that I am going to choose for this tutorial is using technology, so I am going to click on it in order to move forward along this pathway. Next, you will see a line with a scale. Above the scale are numbers, which indicate the amount of tasks available on your pathway. The leftward tasks on the screen are the easier tasks, which become increasingly difficult as you move to the right, with the most difficult task on the far right-hand side. As such, notice that you can click on these numbers in order to move forward along your path. I think that I'm going to choose the second task as an example for this tutorial, so I'm just going to click on it in order to move forward along the pathway. And here is the task, which is make use of the Gwaith or the Learner Gwaith badge on your digital platforms. This task includes suggestions for where to use the badge. They are your profile picture, your virtual status, as your virtual background in a video chat or meeting, and as part of your email signature or your mail tip. The one that I am going to choose for this tutorial is virtual background. So I'm going to click on it in order to move forward along this pathway. Here you will see an example of these badges as the virtual backgrounds for these blue characters. In addition, this blue circle offers you the option of moving forward along the pathway in order to get some more guidance in terms of how to set one of these badges as your virtual background for a video chat or meeting. So I am going to click on it in order to move forward along the pathway. Now the different options available that we suggest you download and set as your virtual background are on the screen. Of course, you can use a different background. Perhaps your employer, for example, has created virtual backgrounds for the organisation. The ones within the toolkit are only suggestions. As the text on the top of the page states, you can click below any picture in order to open that picture in your web browser and then download. For example, if I click underneath one of the pictures, so here, we have that picture open in my web browser, ready for download. I'll just leave here now and return to the interactive toolkit. Additionally, you will see this QR code somewhere on each page that includes a task. If you scan this with the camera on your smartphone or tablet, you will open a survey for the chance to share some feedback on that task. It is also possible to click beneath the QR code in order to open the survey in your web browser. For example, if I just click underneath the QR code, it will open in my web browser ready for me to share my thoughts regarding the task. I will just return to the interactive toolkit now. You will also see that there is a blue circle with white text here if you wish to get some help to set your virtual background. So I am going to click on it to show you what is there. Here there are videos available to help you accomplish the task if needed. Click on the middle arrow in order to view a video within the interactive toolkit. In order to return to the interactive toolkit after you have watched the video, move your cursor to the right and you will see these icons, and all you have to do is click on the arrow to take one step back. And that is the end of the tutorial. I hope that this video was of help and that it has given you a taste of what the toolkit is and how to use it, and that you will enjoy working your way through the tasks. If you would like to share your experience or share your thoughts on any element of the toolkit, be it criticism or praise, or a suggestion of what to change, delete or add, or if you have any questions regarding trialling the toolkit at any time, please do not hesitate to fill in the survey by scanning the QR code or by clicking beneath the QR code on the task pages. Or of course, you are welcome to email me at any time on arwel.williams@bangor.ac.uk. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Best of luck at trialling the ARFer toolkit. We look forward to hearing from you about your experience. Thank you very much.